You guys, welcome in. Okay, what a great night to go on. Super excited. Let me turn this down a little bit. All right. I definitely thought going on right now is a really good idea. And especially that I'm keeping it the same theme. I really am going to remark this as video 3 of 3 because I'm keeping the same bloopers and calling them. Hi. They're the bloopers. They're the Summer Moon Wells bloopers, I'm calling them. It was an amazing game. We were right there watching it. It was amazing, and there's no way I could have turned on a video and started taping. They would have, no, it would not have been good. But it was amazing. Go blue. We're staying with the same theme, so this is going to be bloopers, take 3. Because I've got some more information to give you for what I told you guys through my third eye. I gave you information. So I'm keeping with the same thing. Welcome to WCIA Network, where everything I do and say falls under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Sorry, I'm putting a cough drop in my mouth. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Nothing's been proven right, and nothing has been proven wrong. It's a theory. We all go on social media. A lot of us bring these other people call it conspiracy theories. That's what we do in true crime. We give what we see to be the reality. And this is all it is. Jody Sue Brown, from day one, it's not like we pick on her, but she was there. She was the first one. The very first one for me. Outside of Molly Golightly, AB, Tiffany Marie, that group of giving me information, it was Jody Sue Brown, because you guys do know she was the first one to see them that night. Do you know that Jody Sue Brown saw Candace driving around in the car that she was driving around looking for her daughter that night? Now, most of you wouldn't remember that because a lot of people did not hear these small details. They were given right in the beginning. And then these small details, like the color of the car, switched. And the crazy thing is, if you only get your information and your visuals from their local news station in Kingsport, you'll get the most insane information. Very, very different than once it hits YouTubers. YouTubers create the confusion, right? We're here to be like, ooh, here's our theory, here's your theory, right? But it's the local news. Gives the best information as far as photos, any visuals. I'm going to show you an example of what I'm talking about. Okay. Here's an example before I get into our videos. If you guys really think about it, we're here on social media, a social media platform, YouTube channel outlet. And every channel, that's what I do most of here. Every channel has different information. Every channel offers us a different reality. But when you go to this, especially this local news station, this is where you get the best photo. And this is who told us that Summer was sitting in a car. Here's their photo. First of all, where here do you see a car that she's sitting in? Nowhere. Because in this photo, there's nowhere in this photo she's sitting in a car. And this photo tells and shows every element. Every element is in here. You know that, right? Right behind Summer is her maroon box and the jugs, not milk jugs. And behind the maroon box is the red box. And there's the jugs, whatever you want to call them. And that's the box. Why would this situation here ever change? Here is our one photo that snapped accidentally. Why isn't this being looked at? Look at the side of this fake. It's not even a phone. This is all fake. Don't you want to know who's telling the truth? I do. I would love to know who's telling the truth. So, what I am showing you today are little videos that, once again, played June 15th and June 16th and June 17th. And again, there's contradictions, but what is the most important for you guys to recognize is that these are the most important people. So you heard from yesterday Candace and Don. If you haven't seen it, go watch my video. So Candace and Don obviously were the first ones to be there, right? You too. Let me see. Wait. I don't know which one is the Jody Sue. Let me find it. All right, this is the one. Perfect. I'll play one at a time of the Jody Sue. So the next person that would be great to talk to would be Jody Sue. Because those that don't know this, Jody Sue was one of the first ones to see them the night of, before the police were called. Correct. Before the police were called, Jody Sue knew. Jody Sue was talking to Candace, leaning over her window, her driver's side window, to talk to Candace because Jody Sue was running around looking for Summer and Candace was driving around. Jody Sue was there and heard the phone call to Don, and then she watched her call 911. Do you think to yourself, do you think that Jody Sue saw her call Don and throw it in the back seat and call 911? Do you? Not even close. Not even close. So I have all these bunch of different videos. And then I put together a really cute video to show you at the end that sums up her phone calls. I mean her YouTube lives. Right now, let me switch to this. Okay. Again, we don't care. Jody Sue Brown is Jody Sue Brown. I don't know who she is. I always say it. No one knows anyone until they meet them. But it's not about her. It's about the information that she's giving us tonight. And it's information that I'm using to give myself affirmations of truth. Because I put this story out there over 2.5 years ago. And what we're doing here is building up, showing you how there are many different truths out there. And what I do is I tell you the story through the children. The children tell me the story and it comes through me. And what I see, I'm trying to show you. Once I have you listen to these videos, I'll go over things I've said in the past because I want to. And then we'll also discuss how we put this all together. So know that the first 2 videos you heard from Candace, you heard from Don. You heard from Hunter, you heard from Hunter's mom. They all contradict each other. Here we go.
And just sit down and drop like before lose Wi-Fi signal. I messaged phone and told them to get down early so I can mess around with flowers.
Okay. Let me repeat this. It's hard to understand her, but her very first 5 seconds is going to turn your world upside down because I sort of remember this. What I remember are different channels trying to point this shit out. Listen, listen.
I'm starting at the top and just sit down and drop like before lose Wi-Fi signal. I messaged phone and told them to get down early so I can mess around with flowers and I'll just, mess around with those till he gets there. Even though I knew at that point it'd be like almost half an hour.
Okay. In the beginning, back June 16th week, 2021, there was a bag that people were talking about that was at the house. There was a bag. Okay? Like a leather black bag. To this day, no one knows why that was in the video. Or who else saw it was Chris from the interview room. Follow this. According to Jody Sue Brown, she was also doing flowers, and she wound up, she was messing with the flowers, and what I see is that she was doing the flowers you call them, at Candace's house. And she was headed down to go, and she left like a half an hour earlier than she was supposed to. But he came home, she said. I think it was Don that came home. She had to go back for her purse. Listen.
I'm starting at the top and just sit down and drop like before lose Wi-Fi signal. I messaged phone and told them to get down early so I can mess around with flowers and I'll just, mess around with those till he gets there. Even though I knew at that point it'd be like almost half an hour. And so...
Like, what is that? And only reason I'm saying that is because what I see, I'm not putting it together like what makes sense. is when she says that, what goes through, so people who don't know how I work, is there's like a whole movie I see. And the most important things that she's saying is she left her bag. And what she's saying is she started at the top. Like, it's very mumbly, but the important words stick out to me. She started at the top. She left a half an hour early, forgot her purse, and he came home because it was going to take him at least 30 minutes. These are all planned out words, you guys. Listen to the best that you can.
I'm starting at the top and just sit down and drive right. And before I lose Wi-Fi signal, I messaged Photo and told them to get down early so I can mess around with flowers. And
someone like dubbed it, like it was changed, is what I see. Listen, it doesn't even sound correct. It was like messed with.
I'm starting at the top and just sit down and drive right. And before I lose Wi-Fi signal.
So spiritually is the only way I could tell you. Listen to it again, and I'm going to tell you what I hear. Even though you're not going to hear that. And you're not going to see what I see. You're not going to hear it. Some of you might hear it. Those who are in tune to that side of their psyche, their psychic ability. Do this with me. Do this with me. I'm going to play it. Watch her movements. Her hand movements, her voice changes. These videos are screwed with, you guys. I mean, shit. I just showed you as we started all different faces that come out of this. Listen again.
I'm starting at the top and just sit down and drive right. And before I lose Wi-Fi signal, I messaged Photo and told them to get down early so I can mess around with flowers, and I'll just, mess around with those till he gets there. Even though I knew at that point it'd be like almost half an hour. And so, at that point, I'm hearing Candace calling for Summer.
See? And then she goes in, at that point, I heard Candace calling for Summer. They were planting the flowers. I think she could have possibly been there. And I see that they did this around 3 o'clock. Around 3 o'clock. Because I believe she puts a time out there somewhere. And someone else says that time.
Before I'm all the way down, I know that there's been more than 3 calls. After 3 calls, I just, like I said, no. Because I've never known Summer really,
It's totally tampered with.
At that point, I'm hearing Candace calling for Summer. Before I'm all the way down.
Is the sound echoey? I think I'm going to do it this way. Okay, I'm going to do it this way. The sound will be better.
I'm starting at the top and just sit down and drive right.
See, that you hear that she says sitting, so I was sitting at the top. And then it gets screwed with, but she does go down the driveway, because if you follow the story, how it's really, the truth is in there. She's on the top, Don got home early. Don got home early by like a half an hour, maybe. That's where, I don't know where that came in there. They may have had to throw that in, but Don came home early. That's where the screw up went. Okay. Jody Sue Brown was there. Remember I told you that's Jody Sue Brown's yellow truck? Remember I said that's Jody Sue Brown's yellow truck on the driveway. So they had to, so Don Wells had to make up that story. You guys, there's the truth. Are you listening? Anyone out there? Jody Sue Brown went up the driveway with her car. I'm putting this out there. With her car. The picture of the yellow car was made of a big deal, and they had to come up with the story about his friend leaving the car there. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Her car was the one there, and they had to come up with the story. It is Jody Sue Brown's car. I've seen her car. I saw her car because Harsh Reality did a video. He went up to her house to show her. So this is the story. Let me find. Where is. We just put the yellow truck photos. Just did them. In the interviews. We just did them. Shoot. I don't want to go grab them, you guys. I'm sitting here talking to myself. Sorry about that. Here it is. Let's play this again. Let's play the truth here. The words, because you could tell that this video is dubbed. I mean, when I go like this, watch, when I change it around. I mean, I'm not even going to get into this crap that there's so many different faces in here. You know that. Like, this is completely messed up video. I don't even know who this is. Look at these. Look at all these. Look at that. That's two or three or four different people. And one of them in there has completely bruised eyes. I mean, this is beside the point. I mean, this is stuff that I wasn't even going to get into tonight. Yeah, that yellow truck is hers. I have an apple to apples match. So this, look at, like, who's that? Like, who's that? That's some young lady. Like that. So does anyone here think that that's Jody Sue? If anyone thinks that's Jody Sue, you're definitely brainwashed by their techniques. Think about it. Come on. Jody Sue just got 40 years younger. That looks like John Wayne Gacy, allegedly. Oh my God. Okay, so like this shit is throughout this video. So if anyone could tell me any differently, that'd be wonderful. But these are all different faces, and they messed with not only Jody Sue's face, like that's not her head. That's not her head. I could tell you that. I could tell you this 110%. I don't know if you have to be psychic or not to realize that that's not her head. It's not Jody Sue at all. No, I could tell you. I could tell you that these aren't Jody Sue. So, but I don't care about. I don't even care about this anymore. I don't care to talk anyone into it. I don't give a shit to talk anyone into whose faces these are, because it really doesn't matter here. WCA. I just find it a riot that I could show all these different faces in here, and everyone thinks that those are Jody Sue's. That is what's the most interesting to me, is that people could look at this and say, what is she talking about? That's her. That's Jody Sue. Like, that is what I find so interesting. Let's see if we get another real good one. Ooh. You know what that looks like? From Michael Vaughn's case. Doesn't it? Okay, do you guys see how she's in a box? Do you see how they could change the face? Because she's sitting in that box. Okay, do you see this on the top? Right here? Right up here is the top of that box. I'm doing this live, you guys. That isn't her. Like, you have to see that this isn't her, and this looks like they just Sarah. Look. She looks like Sarah. Shh. These are her videos from her YouTube channel. You guys. Right here. This is what I just showed you in Summer's box. I just showed it. Where is it? Where did I just put that photo? I opened up with it. Did I put it in here? The box I'm talking about is this. Right here. This box. That's from Channel 5 News. So, understand, you guys, these are moments that happen. These are new moments that happen that I've learned about myself. And I just allow the pictures to tell a story here. That's all. And this is pretty telling. Boom. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So the clips that I'm going to show you, wow, are now make more sense to me, because her voice, see, right in there, you guys, is a whole nother character. Like, it's the victim, and I don't even know. It's way more easier when I do this on my phone, but I didn't do it with this. But when you see all of those in there, there's some real sick ass shit in there. Yes, trouble. Yes, there's the bald caps are in there sometimes, so they could use AI, like just change. They change people. Look at the hand. That one's crazy. That's a young girl. That's not her, you see? See, that's not her, you guys. That's not even close to her. Look at her eye. Jesus Christ. I want to say something right now. If I wasn't hitting on something big right now, we wouldn't have as many people as we do listening. That's just not to say I'm so popular. I'm not. I just do what I do for the children. But for those who have been here a long time, where it's just like two of us listening, you all know like what we've been doing here, and we have stayed completely centered without judgment. But when more people come in here than we usually have, there's usually a reason. And I'm really, 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 really so happy for that. So thank you all for joining. And those that are new, I work with spirit through photos, through videos. Images do the best for me. And I work more so through seeing things and hearing and smelling, right? The stories that I've been telling through how I see it through my third eye started with just me looking into the camera. No pictures, no nothing. And then I realized that the photos were giving me more information. And through this channel and through you guys that are listening, it's helped me grow. It's helped me grow, period. It just helped me grow. So Summer Moon Wells was the one there, like, working with me. And that's how I believe I got all this information. You could believe it or not believe it, but it's there because put it this way. Nothing makes sense to me how I get this information. So I don't know how I get it other than that. If we one day learn that there's another part of our brain that does that, amazing, great. But it comes. And when I put photos up and videos, this is what happens. And I don't know what you guys see, because what I see in my reality, just like all of you guys here, you all have different realities, and you're going to see something different in this photo. And I think that is because these photos, I actually talked about it with my husband last night, like, how is it that I could look at these photos and I see so deeply into them, but I'm not emotionally attached. And I said, I feel like a lot of people could look at photos like this. Like, I said, I feel like I could put a picture of someone getting completely chopped up, like I see them doing to these children, and I don't think anyone would bat an eye. I don't know. I didn't know that about the world. I didn't know that about myself. I didn't know that at all. But when I show this information that shows the truth, and I sit here and I could say, that is not Jody Sue Brown. That is not Jody Sue Brown. That is not Jody Sue Brown. And everyone here could agree that these are completely different. They're different people. They're different lips. We could all see that. Or maybe not. But we all think it's the normal. It's okay. Like, this is not okay. This is not okay. And I could sit here and then maybe show you the next slide of her, and we could say, that's Summer. I think I could sit here and probably we could see Summer somewhere in this video, and none of us will do anything about it because we're so desensitized. And the police and the law enforcement, FBI, they're not going to do anything about the fact that this is someone who saw, I haven't even played you the videos yet. This is someone who saw the Wells the day of, and it sounds as if she was planting flowers with them. These videos are intense. But you're not going to hear in the news, this person who lives on top of the hill, blah, 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 blah. These videos are telling, a different story of the little girl called Summer Moon Wells out of Hawkins County. You're not going to hear that. And that's what I find the most astonishing. The most interesting. yeah, is it interesting that I do this? I kind of get it now. I understand myself. Okay, so that's done, right? But what's more important now to me is the fact that I could spend 2.5 years showing this shit. Yeah, maybe no one has seen it because I do it a different way. But if they would have looked into anything, I don't know. I think it would be different. So I never anticipated being up against that. I anticipate, people being bullies. I anticipate, people, getting upset that I'm showing this stuff. That's somebody else. So, I don't know. That's what I find the most interesting. These are all the clips that I have on Jody Sue. That's the Predator one. So, let's see what this one. Okay, so let's close this one out. And let's do this one. My goodness. Boston, you're crazy. Thank you so much for that super sticker. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's see what this is.
The woodcutters.
Okay, listen. Listen to this. We were then told that the woodcutters and the tree cutters that go there all the time, we were told that Don had them cutting trees down the day after she went missing, allegedly. He told everyone, and it's in the interviews. He says, looks like you guys you just did some tree trimming. And he said, yeah, they were just here yesterday. And I think that Chris was saying, like, how does someone get tree trims? Like, how did they get that done? Like, why was that scheduled? And their daughter just went missing. According to Jody Sue, here in this discussion, they were there the day of. But when she's sitting in her truck the week before she went missing, like June 12th, she says how the tree trimmers were there that day. And it was so loud by her house she couldn't hear anything. So all I do know is that the tree trimmers and the way that the trees were cut and then cut again is part of the Summer Moon Wells story. It's part of the children's story. It's part of the sacrifice. Here we go.
The woodcutters, with the two crews and such, they cut out a little while before the next things happened. There were several points in the day where I heard noises outside in the roadway below us, other places up and down, even with woodcutters, and it brought me out of the cabin to check the banks and to look down and make sure the roadway was clear and no cars were parked there and JD wasn't back doing anything crazy. And then at one point, as we get closer to the minutes that I never really saw anything that day. No cars really sitting, not much of anything. Every time I was brought out of the cabin and had to stop sawing the clearers, whatever you want to call them.
See, the tree cutters were there. Oh, I know what I'm going to play for you guys right now before I do this. This is what I want to play. Here we go. I made this earlier and I wasn't going to do it. So this will be on for a little bit. These are the most important clips that I took of Jody Sue's voice that I found to be the most important. And what I did is I paired it with the most important video to Summer Moon Wells. It's her most important video. Why? Do you all ask? It's to me the video that is the night allegedly of her sacrifice. I believe that the footage here shows the night of sacrifice, the night they moved her through the darkness while the stars were out. It was very dark, but there's movement of summer. And I believe this to be Summer's. So as you listen to Jody Sue give blurts of information, watch the video.
I'm starting at the top and just sitting down our driveway. And before I lose Wi-Fi signal, I messaged Photo and told them to head down early so I can mess around with the flowers. And I'll just, mess around with those till he gets there. Even though I knew at that point it'd be like almost half an hour. And so, at that point, I'm hearing Candace calling for Summer. Before I'm all the way down, I know that there's been more than 3 calls. After 3 calls, I just, like I said, no. Because I've never known Summer really, as a mother, right? Usually at 3rd call, and the stars tone brings them in, right? So, by that 3rd or so call, I knew, and my mind went click, click, click. But the sound I heard, I personally just assumed those things went together almost immediately. All I know is what I can speak. I get to the bottom of the driveway, I have my purse, actually it's the same one I'm still carrying, a little attached. By this point, I'm starting to panic before I know something's wrong. I just know it. And I look across, there's kind of a drop off with a piece of property that connects with Kansas on the other side of the road, and it's kind of down, and there's the creek that runs that way. Because it runs through both of this property and the other one is the main creek through each creek. But it takes a weird way around through that part on the other side of the road, and then there's how through an hill. So anyway, I kind of look down, make sure Summer's not there, and then Kansas is still calling. I hear the boys start, calling, they're circling. I just know something's wrong with this place. I drop my purse where I'm standing. I try calling and screaming at Candace, and I'm already looking to let her know that I'm at the bottom. She can't hear me. And it's the way her piece of property picks up things. She could not hear me. It was not possible. I could hear her clear as day, though. At a certain point, I know trying to scream at her is wasting time. I just need to be looking for Summer. And to me, that scream, I don't think anyone, I don't think whatever, I just go down the left side of their property towards the creek on that side that I had looked down towards earlier. And there was a point there when, I could tell that Candace and the boys had met up, and they were hollering for Summer and circling the hill at the top. And Candace was like, to the oldest, was like, "What did you do? What did you do?" And not like an accused her, it was more of a, like, "Did you not have eyes on your sister? Did you leave her behind?" So that, literally, I thought, okay, then I was, like, it is that the boys were supposed to have an eye on her and didn't or something. And, so anyway, I'm stepping into the creek. I was, not too far in. As I was looking, went a few feet, in to the water, but, 20 feet maybe further, I don't know, maybe less than that, I don't know. Wasn't too far in. When I hear a car coming down Candace's driveway. And, her talking to somebody, which I assume was somebody in the car with her. But as I hear her getting closer, I come back out of the creek and jump up. Out of, and then into the roadway. And she's in Candace's vehicle. Which, kind of confused me at first. Because I was like, flashed red earlier, and I thought, well, that would have been the first vehicle in line. Grandis's was ahead of us, so that's why she's in Grandis's. And so, anyway, when she pulls up, she's on the phone with Donnie. But the first thing I said, guys, I wish I could explain to you. I wish there had been some way for me to take a picture or video that day. Donnie's on the phone with her, and I didn't even realize the time just hit him. It was the first thing I said, Candace, is I heard her scream, I'm sorry, I didn't know. And then I realized Donnie's on the phone. And Donnie says something like, "So you told me somebody's taking my baby girl or something." And I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't know, I didn't put it together, enough time, like, right? Okay, the big kids. Either way, I finally make my way to them. I'm almost to them before they realize I'm there, and they've been caught. And they stand up, and the oldest, I was like, "Look, when's the last time you seen your sister? Where did you see her last?" And he, and I'm not going to say what he told me. But then he tells me it's been like, a few minutes. I'm not going to give the exact time period either. And he tells me that, and he's pretty
like, that was weird.
A few minutes. And I'm not going to say what he told me. But then he tells me it's been like, a few minutes. I'm not going to give the exact time period either.
Did you hear that under there?
And I'm not going to say what he told me. But then he tells me it's been like, a few minutes. I'm not going to give the exact time period either.
The hell? Let me slow it down.
Time you see sister, where is your last? And he, and I'm not going to say what he told me. But then he tells me it's been like, a few minutes. I'm not going to give the exact time period either.
What?
And he tells me that.
You guys. Okay, I laugh, you guys, when I get nervous. Do you guys hear that? Put a 1 in chat if you hear that. I'm playing it slow. I want to know what they're saying.
They stand up, and the oldest, I was like, "But when's the last time you see sister? Where's your last?" And he,
See?
And I'm not going to say what he told me. But then he tells me it's like,
What? You guys, we have to figure out what that's saying. That's coded. That coded. It's really freaky. Wait.
and I'm not going to say what he told me. But then he tells me it's like,
That's a message. Do you hear that?
and they stand up, and the oldest, I was like, but when's the last time you see sister, where's your last? And he,
Here it comes. Here it comes.
and I'm not going to say what he told me. But then he tells me it's been like, a few minutes. I'm not going to give the exact time period either. And he tells me that, and he's pretty like speaking to a group, and
Okay. Well, I'm going to do it regular. It's playback speed, normal. Okay.
they're a little off, but I figure it's well they're
Okay. Sorry, I got totally sidetracked. All right, I'm going to start it over this right in here. I'm going to start it right here.
kind of confused me at first. Because I was like, well, I flashed red earlier, and I thought, well, that would have been the first vehicle in line. Grandis's was ahead of us, so that's why she's in Grandis's. And so, anyway, when she pulls up, she's on the phone with Donnie. But the first thing I said, guys, I wish I could explain to you. I wish there had been some way for me to take a picture or video that day. Donnie's on the phone with her, and I didn't even realize the time. I just didn't even. It was the first thing I said, Candace, is I heard her scream, I'm sorry, I didn't know. And then I realized Donnie's on the phone. And Donnie says something like, so you're telling me somebody's taking my baby girl or something? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't know, I didn't put it together, enough time, like, right? Okay, the big kids. Either way, I finally make my way to them. I'm almost to them before they realize I'm there, and they've been caught. And they stand up, and the oldest, I was like, look, when's the last time you seen your sister? Where's your last? And he, and I'm not going to say what he told me. But then he tells me it's been like, a few minutes. And I'm not going to give the exact time period either. And he tells me that.
You hear that?
He's pretty like speaking to a group, and they're a little off, but I figure well they just got caught playing and still looking for sister, and then freedom will tell them. So anyway, they start trudging back to the middle of me and the other neighbor through the field. And to go back home, by this point, I can see a cop in the back.
This is Jody's video, by the way.
As far as I can get without crossing the other fence, and right back to where I know it's already been searched and is being searched by others at the time. And so I head back out towards the middle, almost the same way the boys do. That way I can look for tracks in the middle in case, and the other neighbor hadn't been able to get that because they were still busy on the bank. I went back towards them, asked if they found anything. They've not. Obviously, none of us had. We all kind of knew at that point she was not in there. There was also, but we got all that going on. Kid's 19th birthday. And then, yeah, that's hitting. And then
My
I keep
favorite
smelling
one.
fresh babies. Yeah, don't even look at me. You heard me. And then, yeah, that's hitting. And then I keep smelling fresh babies. Yeah, don't even look at me. You heard me. But fresh babies are fresh babies. And, I'm irradiated currently, and no more babies for me, but too many surgeries couldn't probably help me anyway, and if something's wrong, I'd smother them with a fucking pillow. But definitely, I don't want to have to go through amniocentesis to see what the fuck's wrong, or risks, or whatever, and then abortions and whatnot time after time. So we're gonna call it a day, be retired. Both my kids will be grown by the time I'm 40, and I'm gonna sail off into the fucking sunset, y'all.
And then which I'm not going to do it, I play the rest of the video, which I'm going to do without the music. So we're going to go listen to this little piece by piece.
Starting at the top, and it's down.
You heard that one.
Candace calling for summer.
So I don't know what you guys heard, but this is what I could tell you I heard. That Jody Sue was at their house that day. Smelling fresh babies. That Jody Sue was there. She helped them plant.
Calling for summer. Before I'm all the way down, I know that there's...
It sounds like I have videos of Jody Sue is talking about how she hears a scream, but the screams never stopped. They never stopped. And she also talks about how Candace came down the driveway with her in her mother's car.
Okay, yeah, the big kids. Either way, I finally make my way to them. I'm almost to them before they realize I'm there. They've been caught. And they stand up and they all...
So I'm there, I've been caught.
And they stand up and the oldest, I was like, look, when's the last time you seen your sister? Where did you see her last? And he, and I'm not going to say what he told me. But then he tells me it's been like, a few minutes. And I'm not going to say... I was like, look, when's the last time you seen your sister? Where did you see her last? And he, and I'm not going to say what he told me. But then he tells me it's been like,
Yeah, that's the weird part there.
He tells me that, and he's pretty like, speaking to a group, and...
He's pretty lying. Like, there's...
They're a little off, but I figure, well, they just got caught playing and still looking for sister, and then freedom will tell me.
They got caught playing with their little sister.
I figure, well, they just got caught playing and still looking for sister, and then freedom will...
So what she is saying, or trying to say, or what I hear her saying, is trying to give us a narrative that the boys did something. Because she doesn't even want to say what they said, according to her. She doesn't want to say what they said.
That, and he's pretty lying. Speaking to
He's pretty lying.
He tells me that, and he's pretty... I'll give the exact time period here.
What noise is that?
I'm not going to give the exact time period either.
I want to know what those words are.
And he tells me that, and he's pretty lying.
He's pretty lying.
Speaking for a group, and they're a little off the figures, well, they just got caught playing this to looking for sister, and
See? So, she doesn't want them to say what they're saying. And she said they got caught playing with their little sister.
so anyway, they start trudging back to the middle of me and another neighbor through a field. And to go back home, by this point, I can see a cop in the back. I've reached as far as I can get without crossing the other fence, and right back to where I know has already been searched and is being searched by others at the time. And so I head back out towards the middle, almost the same way the boys do. That way I can look for tracks in the middle in case, and I know the other neighbor hadn't been able to get that because they were still busy on the bank. I went back towards them, asked if they found anything. They've not. Obviously, none of us had. We all kind of knew at that point she was not in there. There was also...
yeah, the voices are creepy. These are the different clips I kept.
The boys go down the left side of their property towards the creek on that side that I had looked down towards earlier. And there was a point there when, I could tell that Candace and the boys had met up, and they were hollering for summer and circling the hill at the top. And Candace was like, to the oldest, was like, what did you do? What did you do? And not like an accused her, it was more of a, like, did you not have eyes on your sister? Did you leave her behind? So that, literally, I thought, okay, then I was, like, it is that the boys were supposed to have an eye on her and didn't or something. And, so anyway, I'm stepping into the creek. I was, not too far in. As I was looking, went a few feet, in to the water, but, 20 feet maybe from the road, I don't know, maybe less than that, I don't know. Wasn't too far in. When I hear a car coming down Candace's driveway. And her talking to somebody, which I assume was somebody in the car with her.
Listen to this.
But as I hear her getting closer, I come back out of the creek and jump up. Out of, and into the roadway. And she's in Grandis's vehicle.
She's in Grandis's vehicle. So now we have Candace in 3 different cars. Listen.
This is vehicle. And it's, she's in Grandis's vehicle.
Grandis's vehicle.
Out of, and into the roadway. And she's in Grandis's vehicle. And it's, kind of confused me at first. Because I was like, flashed red earlier, and I thought, well, that would have been the first vehicle in line.
There's a voice. There's like another voice under here.
Line. Grandis was ahead of us, so that's why she's in Grandis's.
Grandis was ahead of us. Like, there's a second voice thing in here.
And so, anyway, when she pulls up, she's on the phone with Donnie. But the first thing I said, guys, I wish I could explain to you. I wish there had been some way for me to take a picture or video that day. Donnie's on the phone with her, and I didn't even realize the time it just didn't hit me. But the first thing I said, Candace, is I heard her scream, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
I'm sorry. I didn't know. She heard screams. See, she didn't hear just one scream. She heard screams, and she's saying her sorry to Candace. She heard a lot of screams.
Sorry, I didn't know it.
See, like, she heard the screams. And when she's with her daughter or something, there's one of these videos says, you'll hear it, how the screams just didn't stop. They didn't stop.
Candace, I heard a scream, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
See?
And then I realized Donnie's on the phone. And Donnie says something like, so you told me somebody's taking my baby girl or something. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't know, I didn't put it together, enough time, like, right?
So, Jody Sue had a really big part. It sounds like she was talking to Don.
And I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't know, I didn't put it together, enough time, like, right?
She's on the phone with Don. Listen.
And Donnie says something like, so you told me somebody's taking my baby girl or something.
So Donnie says to her, someone has taken my little girl or something. And she is apologizing. She's saying she heard the screams. And she's apologizing, saying she didn't know. Maybe she didn't know something was going on. Do you see? Maybe this was where the mess up was, because I said there's the mess up. So far, I've heard that she was up the hill. So that's what I've heard. And she came down the hill. She dropped her purse. I believe that's the bag that was probably left. There was a picture of a bag left on their property. Chris asked about it from the interview room. But according to this, she was on the phone with Don.
I just didn't hear me. The first thing I said, Candace, I heard a scream. I'm sorry, I didn't know. And then I realized Donnie's on the phone. And Donnie says something like, so you told me somebody's taking my baby girl or something. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't know, I didn't put it together, enough time, like, right?
See, she said it twice. She said it to Candace, and then she said it again to Donnie.
I get to the bottom of the driveway, I have my purse, actually it's the same one I'm still carrying, a little attached.
Second time she brings up her purse. Second time.
At this point, I'm starting to panic for her. I know something's wrong. I just know it. And I look across, there's kind of a drop off.
You heard that?
Because it runs through both of his property and the other, and under a tile through an hill. So anyway, I kind of look down to make sure Sunrise is not there, and then Candace is still calling. I hear the boys start, calling, or circling. I just know something's wrong at this point. I drop my purse where I'm standing.
She dropped her
I try
purse.
calling and screaming at Candace, and I'm already looking to let her know that I'm at the bottom. She can't hear it. And it's the way her piece of property picks up things. She could not hear me. It was not possible. I could hear her clear as day, though. At a certain point, I know trying to scream at her is wasting time. I just need to be looking for Summer. And to me, that scream, I don't think anyone, I don't think whatever, I don't know how to, but I look anyway. Start down towards where the tile is that the creek runs under, passes through from his property to camp.
Listen.
When I know trying to scream at her is with Candace, and I'm already looking to let her know that I'm at the bottom. She can't hear me. That's the way her piece of property picks up things. She could not hear me. It was not possible. I could hear her clear as day, though. At a certain point, I know trying to scream at her is wasting time. I just need to be looking for Summer.
There are a lot of voices in here. But I want to find the one where she says the scream lasts forever.
Baltimore message asked what I was doing or something. and it was like 4:52. So somewhere around 4:42, I think has been my estimation since the get to, and it could have been as early as 4:30, but somewhere between 4:30 and 4:42 for sure, because I know we were out on the bank for a little bit trying to figure out what this was. So somewhere between 4:30 and 4:42, the children and I were sitting there being pretty loud, laughing, carrying on. I mean, and when I say loud, we're pretty loud. However, the cabin was quiet, TV running, no air, no fans, and this scream happens. This noise I originally tried to dismiss as, but it was so different and so wrong that it immediately hits me in the gut as not.
See, there's some weird shit going on in this, in their voices. Which one's this?
I'm starting at the top and just sit down.
Video 1. Screen record.
I have to look back at the messages, and lately I've not looked at those messages just because of other things going on, like I said, our situation, and it's just. But I believe the time Baltimore had messaged to ask what I was doing or something, and it was like 4:52. So somewhere around 4:42, I think has been my estimation since the get to, and it could have been as early as 4:30, but somewhere between 4:30 and 4:42 for sure, because I know we were out on the bank for a little bit trying to figure out what this was. So somewhere between 4:30 and 4:42, the children and I were sitting there being pretty loud, laughing, carrying on. I mean, and when I say loud, we're pretty loud. Strange. And, I mean, as someone who's grown up in the woods and with critters of all kinds, like, if you want to meet Ellie Mae, I'm it. This wasn't, but I tried. It was so strange that
The scream she's talking about.
I immediately tried to dismiss it as something else, including a dog, even though I knew better, because, and what I thought was, okay, well, we heard the car door, right? The one. And even though by this point, the woodcutter's been gone for hours, should not have been there. In my head, trying to dismiss this, I was like, okay, so one of kids and dogs has gotten too close to where a woodcutter was, and they kicked it. But I knew the sound was wrong for a dog. And
It's her video.
It didn't make sense.
Just so you know, that's her video doing that. I'm not making those noises.
Because there'd be no reason there'd be a straggler in there that long. For the woodcutters, right? Whatever you want to call them.
Did you hear that?
But I was like, well, and my kids are really like, well, that's the kids. And I'm like, it's not the kids. Because first thing in my mind, when kids is mentioned in that context, is the boys, right? Candace's. Now, I know all of their sounds, trust me. Oh.
The fuck is that? I saw that pop up while we were... Look at that.
Boys, right? Candace's. Now, I know all of their sounds, trust me. Oh, boy, do I. And I'll not use their names, because, but, I've known them since they were littles, and I've heard every noise you can imagine out of those three.
My God, come on.
But they kind of, variation when I was barking, they drove me a little crazy, so I'm saying no. But anyway, I've heard every noise you can imagine out of those three. And they go down further than Summer, and they ride their dirt bikes back and forth, things like that. And they go in places that Summer really doesn't. But this wasn't their noises. That's what hit me, right? That's not the voice, and that's what I said. And it never really occurred to me, Summer. And the reason is because Summer doesn't play down far enough to really hear. Sometimes when she's high on the bank, or, one of the boys are picking, or she's picking, or she's not, but not a whole lot to hear Summer. Not like the boys. Oh, dear.
Wow.
And you'll hear her faintly, you'll hear whatever, but she stays a little closer to the house. And contrary to popular belief, I've never once seen Summer on the road. Most kids, no. She's also not the type to just, it's not, when people,
okay, come on. Whoa.
Anyway.
See that?
Closed. Anyway.
Look at the hand with the heart. You guys see this heart? Right here? Look at the hand, how it's fake right here. See that? Right here. There's the heart. These are elements that appear. And these are the elements that I've learned are the elements of Summer Moon Wells Missing Children. I've learned that these elements are the most important elements. Now, that took clairvoyant work. That took speaking to the spirits. So now I'm able to pull them out and show them to you because I know what they are. Where most people wouldn't be able to. Most people can't stop and show you this because they don't know the elements unless they've been watching my program. Right? These are the hearts that I show. Right there. Right there. Thank you for those wonderful ones. And that shouldn't be in this video. Right?
So.
And this is just really messed up video. I'll play around with this a different time. Go, let's do this.
So, she gets to the cabin door first. This was a pretty quick series of events. It was what is that? That's the kids. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. And she gets to the door first, and she goes, I can still hear it. It's one of the kids.
She's saying, I could still hear it. So she did not hear just one scream. It's right here. She's telling you so. Let me slow it down. I mean, my God, it's going so fast. Listen, if it sounds funny slow, I'll make it.
Go first. This was a pretty quick series of events. It was what is that? That's kids. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. And she gets to the door first, and she goes, I can still hear it. It's one of the kids. And she was like, it's going, it's muffled. Those were her exact words.
It's muffled. Those were her exact words. She kept hearing it. It's muffled. You want to know who else used that word, muffled? Don. Don. Listen.
What is that?
What the heck? Is that another picture? All right, here we go.
What is that? That's the kids. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. And she gets to the door first, and she goes, I can still hear it. It's one of the kids. And she was like, it's going, it's muffled. Those were her exact words. That day, she was like, I can still hear it.
So it wasn't just one scream. According to what we're listening to here, it wasn't just one scream. And it got muffled. Look what happens when I stop her video. And it's muffled.
I couldn't hear it any longer. Well, like I said, she was the first one to throw her head out. And she says that she could hear it. It's still muffled. It was leaving the road, kind of. But she could still hear it.
It was on the road or something.
Kind of. But she could still hear it. And she was like, it's going, it's muffled. Those were her exact words. That day, she was like, I can still hear it. I couldn't hear it any longer. But like I said, she was the first one to throw her head out. And she says that she could hear it still muffled. It was leaving the road, kind of. Because she.
It was going down the road. The muffling sound was like it was going down the road. There's so many voices in here that this video is so messed with. Let me play it slow just so I can, because this is important. View half.
Anyway, but my daughter jumps up and goes to the door of the cabin because she's closest. Anyway, so she gets to the cabin door first. This was a pretty quick series of events. It was what is that? That's the kids. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. And she gets to the door first, and she goes, I can still hear it. It's one of the kids. And she was like, it's going, it's muffled. Those were her exact words. That day, she was like, I can still hear it. I couldn't hear it at that point any longer. Well, like I said, she was the first one to the door, had her head out. And she says that she could hear it still muffled. It was leaving the road, kind of.
There's information in here because right before that it said she was the first one. She was the first one to the. Are you guys hearing that? She was the first one to the door. Listen.
She's picking her. She's not,
Wait. Let me listen to this again.
And I'll not use their names because but I've known them since they were littles, and I've heard every noise you can imagine out of those three. I hear them play every day. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry, but they kind of, radiation when I was barfing, they drove me a little crazy. That's all I'm saying now.
There's a message in there too. I'm not repeating it.
I'm sorry, but they kind of, radiation when I was barfing, they drove me a little crazy. That's all I'm saying.
Wow, you guys.
No. But anyway, I've heard every noise you can imagine out of those three. And,
You guys, see, I listen to this through clairvoyantly, and I listen to this differently than the normal human does. Wow.
Go down further than summer, and they ride their dirt bikes back and forth, things like that.
Listen to this.
I've heard every noise you can imagine out of those three. And they go down further than summer, and they ride their dirt bikes back and forth, things like that. And they go in places that summer really doesn't.
I can't even get into what's happening with me right now. I cannot get into what is going on spiritually right now. I almost feel like I have to videotape myself doing this and then put it on, because this, I hear something completely different.
Been summer, and they ride their dirt bikes back and forth, things like that, and they go in places that summer really doesn't. But this wasn't their noises. But that's what hit me, right? That's not the voice, and that's what I said. And it never really occurred to me, summer. And the reason is because summer doesn't play down far after really a year. Sometimes when she's high on the bank, or, you know, one of the boys are picking, or she's picking, or she's mad, you know. But not a whole lot due to your summer. Not like the boys. Oh dear.
So I'm going to let this 5 minutes play through.
Or doesn't play down far after really a year. Sometimes when she's high on the bank, or, you know, one of the boys are picking, or she's picking, or she's mad, you know. But not a whole lot due to your summer. Not like the boys. Oh dear. I mean, you'll hear her faintly, you'll hear whatever, but she stays a little closer to the house. And contrary to popular belief, I've never once seen someone on the road, most kids, like, no. She's also not the type to just, it's not you and people, like, but no. So, anyway, but my daughter jumps up and goes to the door of the cabin because she's closest. Anyway. So, she gets to the cabin door first. This was a pretty quick series of events. It was you know, what is that? That's the kids. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. And she gets to the door first, and she goes, I can still hear it. It's one of the kids. And she was like, it's going, you know, it's muffled. Those were her exact words. That day, she was like, I can still hear it. I couldn't hear it at that point any longer. Well, like I said, she was the first one to the door, had her head out. And she says that she could hear it, it's still muffled. It was leaving the road, kind of. But she could still hear it. So, you know, for a little while, it's just so weird, right? So, and I believe she also said she could hear a car too, that I could not. But I was further back, you know, like I said, she was first door, he was second. But then, we go out, onto the banks again, you know, and we're listening, we're looking, we don't hear or see anything really. We eventually go back in, then, I get ready. I start getting ready not too long after that, because normal time for Baltimore to get off of work. But then So, somewhere, and I believe around 6, it usually is out. Anyway, it was running quite a bit behind, but at one point near 6, I believe on the phone at 6:09, I'm going around the top covert road to start the descent down.
You guys, there's a lot of information in here. I hear a whole story that I'm going to have to journal.
Even the woodcutters.
Like, let me see what's in here.
I heard noises outside. And that hit me as odd. We heard a car door, just one. Never heard an engine or a car leave, even though it was. Never heard an engine or a car leave, even though it was quiet. There was.
See that? Right in there. Someone totally different. Who thinks that's Jody Sue Brown? I had to take a snapshot of this. And not to say it's him, I see Andrew. And I see that Sarah girl, I see that one of those girls. I see Ziggy. See, these faces are, look at the lips. The lips are totally different. I see Justin for all. Like I see all the YouTubers. Now, not to say that's who's in there. It's just I see the YouTubers. I see Tiffany Marie, I see Jody Sue Brown, I see Justin for all, or Justice for all, whatever it is. It's just all different. Just all different people. It's just telling me YouTube. That's all. Like, it's not Jody Sue Brown. I want to play the voices. My goodness. Look at the different people. Look at. See the different lips? It's layering, you guys. It's just layered. That's all. It's layered. They're layered with different lips, different noses, different eyes. It's layered. See? Look at the different lips.
And then at one point, as we get closer to the minutes that
I hear the whole story here, you guys.
I never really saw anything no cars really sitting, no.
Those are not. Those are her noises.
I was brought out of the cabin and at some point after that, I heard a car slam. It was now, the angle I was at, I still don't know why I asked. Rotation in the way.
I'm going to play a couple more. That's not what I want. This one was where I got the smell of babies. This one, you guys, was the week that she went missing.
And him, but I'm hoping today, because the official sale of that piece was...
This is where this is like June 12th or something. And this is where she's talking about the sale of the property. And this is the video that she says the smell of babies right in the back here. The video is quite interesting because, again, there's a lot in here that doesn't look like her. But that's beside the point. All that does is it gives me information. You know, shows stuff like that. But listen.
Few weeks, the radiation shit sucks. bitches for the people they work for that are fucking them in our community. In particular, in my case, I'm not going to say too much about it, but I will tell you that the other day, I had some weird son of a bitch follow me, give me the dick. You know, they've got the number to call him, so if anything, you know, because there's certain trees that are not to come down. There's been all kinds of
See, she's talking about the trees again. Here. Talks about the trees. Talks about the babies. And I just play around with this stuff. And look for my elements. And, I mean, that doesn't look like Jody Sue Brown. Not at all. But everyone could come to their own conclusion. You all know what I do. You all know how I feel about this. I mean, to me, this stuff's used for deep fake. In here. Right in here. It's let's try to stop on a good frame here. Like, that's not Jody Sue. This picture right here. They use her face as a deep fake. They use YouTube creators to cover up the truth. The truth lies within these videos. And you could tell it lies within, which is underneath their video. But until everyone is, ready to see it, I wouldn't say, your body and your mind, you have to be prepared to see it. Or else it's just too much for you to take, right? Because this here is a child. And I see this child that has issues, like has like a Down syndrome or something. Here's the photo. Where'd the photo go? Where's the photo? Right here. Okay. So this here is not Jody Sue. And that's not her neck. And those are the glasses that get put on these victims. This is what's underneath the deep fake. the deep fake, Jody Sue's being used. You see, because this is Jody Sue's video. This is her video. And they use these creators' videos as the top layer. And this was June 12th, 2021. Look at her eyes. Look what's going on behind her in the back window. These videos that posted, you guys, in the beginning, they hold the truth. They hold the truth. Look in the back window. Look at those. Aren't Jody Sue's eyes. And look at the back window. But what I'm trying to say is that until this is going to be seen by the authorities so they could verify, it's going to stay on a smaller level of people understanding, right? Which is fine. Look back here. Because that's all we're doing here is trying to tell the truth for these victims. That's what we do here, you guys. So tonight you saw a little snippet of Jody Sue, at least what her videos could offer us. And you've also heard conflicting information. Now we've got her in Grandis's car. Now to me, we've got someone else on the property that day. Her. And I think what I'm going to do tomorrow is spend some time listening to those videos. See, look. See the V on her hand? See what's going on here? Look. These are the main elements in Summer Moon case. Right there. Right there. This is what happens when you edit, copy, when you allow yourself to see the truth. This. This shows. That shows in her mouth. That shows in her eyes. So look at this as we close up here. And you saw it straight from the video. These are elements that I have almost probably 800 videos on. These are elements that haven't changed since I started posting. This is here. This is her video. It shouldn't be there. Shouldn't be there. Look at these. Holy shit, there's the heart. There's the heart. So we've got the V. We've got the heart. So if you want to tell me that this doesn't exist and this isn't real, go ahead. But for the children and for the victims, this is as real as it gets. This right here is as real as it gets. This heart and this V is pretty significant. And these are Jody Sue Brown's videos that I'm telling you tell the story. There is one thing I want to show you on the video. There, I'm just brightening them up a little. I like brightening them. Okay, so this is basically the most important elements, right? The V and the heart. As you guys watch, look at that. I want to play This video. Where is it? Video 5. Okay. I want you guys to see. I need you to see important parts of this video. This is June 15th, 2021. This is Jody Sue Brown's video the night of. When she goes past these certain places back here, I think this is too close. Okay, I gotta find the other. I have to find. Shoot. I don't know if it's in here. Such crazy pictures. Not that one. Two, 3, 5, 1. Maybe new coverage. New coverage. This is going to be a whole different video. I'll end with summer instead of the video. Here we got, which is good. This is summer. This is from their local news, like I said before. I want to point out all of these pieces. You don't see this on YouTube. You don't. I would question why. Let's get closer. I have so much to review next time. Oh my goodness. Here she is, you guys. Summer Moon Wells missing children. All have a box. They have a red one. Those jugs, whatever those boob things I call. This is her. And this was acceptable to the local news station. Yep. The local news station. Well, I think that I will be spending some time re-evaluating what I hear.
I'm starting at the top and just sit down and drive right. And before those Wi-Fi signals.
You see, it's this part here, view. Let's see. Oh, long gone. Thank you for that super chat. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's see. Scene. Okay. Thank you, Long Gone.
I'm starting at the top and just sit down and drive right. And before those Wi-Fi signal, I messaged Photo and told him to get down early so I can mess around with flowers. And I was, mess around with those till he gets there.
I was messing around with those till he gets there.
I knew at that point it'd be like almost half an hour.
I knew that point it'd be like almost a half an hour. And that's how long it takes from where he was, Jonesboro.
And so, at that point, I'm hearing Candace calling for
At that point, something Candace.
Summer.
Calling for Summer.
Before I'm all the way down, I know that there's been
Before I'm all the way down, probably the driveway.
3 calls. After 3 calls, I just, like I said, no. Because I've never known Summer really, like, any as a mother, right? Usually a 3rd call, and the first tone brings them in, right? So, by that 3rd or so, I knew, and my mind went click, click, click.
So I had to do a story side by side with her voices. You guys, thank you all for being here tonight. This was amazing. I'm leaving these 2 pictures up here. I decided instead of Summer because these represent summer moon wells all the way around. And this is going to be my new front cover for sure. Look at that. Look at that, you guys. I'm taking a screenshot. Boom, boom, chicka boom. Thank you all for being here. Make justice come to these children really soon. Seriously, we do our best that we can here. And welcome all those that are new, and welcome back my incredible subscribers and members. Keep coming back, and thumbs up, please, on your way out. It really helps you guys. It does. We're here for the children. We're not here to talk about who the hell Jody Sue Brown is. We don't know who she is unless you've had lunch with her. Okay? On that note, good night, folks. God bless you all, and we will see you tomorrow.